The way you gain more body rotation is actually to get your arms or hands a little closer to you during the hit. The closer your hands are to you during the hit, the harder your body will be able to turn and influence the club. The farther your hands are away from you, the more everything gets out of sync, and you'll see people really trying to turn their body hard, and there's no influence on the club. In fact, the club actually will start to go dead on them. So one of the ways they can, everybody's heard, sync up your arms and club better, it's to let your arms get a little closer, particularly your left arm. In fact, Duffy and I have been working just a little bit on that very thing, getting his arm a little closer to him, letting him turn through it and hit it a little bit more easily. That's terrific. And that was as released as you can do it.
Yep, that was. It felt like
and the ball
fully
flew
released,
almost completely dead straight.
And as we look at it in slow motion now, when you say release, you talked about the arms trading places. What does that mean exactly?
Well, at the top of your backswing, if you ever look, the right arm is the trail arm, or the inside, or the back arm. The left arm's the front arm. Now, if you stay that way for a long period of time, you've just been a check swinger in baseball since we're in the World Series is right here. What has to happen at some point in time is those arms have to trade position. The left arm has to come in, so the right arm is now the outside arm as we come through it, and that's what I call releasing the arms. And if this stays too far away, then you just lose all of your sync together.
The way I think about it is like, for me, it's like hit a hook.
Okay.
When I release the club, I feel like I'm hitting a hook, and it took a while to get used to it. I've been doing it for a while, but when I do that and can hit it straight or with a fade or a little draw, it works out perfect. So I really feel like, to me, a release, it's like a baseball swing. I mean, I release that part, to get it over there, and I don't want any of the check swing. So I feel like it's a hook, but it's not a hook.
Thank you, gentlemen. Let's look at the numbers right there. Duffy Waldorf, 51 years old, now sixth in driving distance at 283.2 a pop. That's normal average on the PGA Tour, maybe a little short, right?
Maybe a little short, yeah. But these guys are a little older. I mean, give them a little break, David. Come on.
That's being tough. What do you think, Phil? I mean, we talked about it a little bit off air. Duffy wasn't known as necessarily a long driver of the golf ball, but sixth on the driving distance on the Championship Tour, that's not bad.
Well, I think he's really maximizing what he's trying to do. The smash factor is really, really efficient. I like what they're talking about there, and what Jim is talking about, not trying to get too far away from the golf ball. And if you set up, you people at home, if everybody at home wants to know, well, where do I put my hands? If you let your left arm hang right out of your shoulder, just like this, and grab the club there and then reach with the right, then you're about the right distance away from the golf ball. You don't want to get too far from it, like Jim said, because then you can't turn. You've got everything way out here too far away from you. Jeff Sluman's another player that works really a lot on that, has great body rotation.
What are your thoughts on that, Joe, on connection and sequencing and how important where your arms are in the backswing and really in the whole swing?
Well, and I think for me it starts with tension. I see when I play with a lot of amateurs, I see them, and the first thing I do, they're a little bit nervous. They start gripping that club head really, really hard. And if you do that, if you think about holding the golf ball or throwing a golf ball as far as you can accurately and far, you're going to hold it kind of like a baseball. You're going to hold it like an egg. I see a guy, if you want to throw it short and not accurate, hold it as hard as you can and then try to throw it. It's going to go all over the place. And so I think if you do the same thing with a golf club, then you can kind of get the proper connections. You can get the proper waggles. You can get the proper backswing and follow through. I think that's going to maximize your distance.
How do you relieve tension when you're standing over an important tee shot? I do get nervous. Folks at home, I'm sure you get nervous. You see, out of bounds stakes, right, water, left. That's when I start gripping the club.
Well, I think part of that goes into your preparation and how you practice. If you practice at home, you get a feel for your golf swing. Feels pretty good. Now you put yourself in stressful situations mentally, or go out on the golf course and challenge yourself with holes that really bother you a lot. All of a sudden, you become a little bit more relaxed. You have a little bit better tension levels in your golf swing. But one thing to remember for you folks at home, trying to hit the ball further. Tomorrow we're going to get into some of the more nuts and bolts and the details and get more scientific about it maybe a little bit. But the main thing, if you can have good balance and good posture and control your footwork in your golf swing, you're going to have a tendency to hit the ball more solid, and you can control the spin rate a lot more, which then is going to make you much more efficient. Your smash factor is going to go up, and that's how you're going to maximize your distance, not getting tight and not swinging too hard.
Biggest pressure situation you faced standing over a tee shot?
Well, I think that, you know, whenever I have a tough tee shot, I almost visualize the ball going in the water first, because your second shot's always the best, right? I mean, your second so go ahead and just visualize that snap hook right in the ocean on the left at Pebble Beach, and then you'll hit the most beautiful second shot you've ever hit in your life. I mean, you know, the easiest shot in golf's the third shot.
Get those bad shots out of the way.
Bad shots out of the way. Visualize it straight left in the ocean or out of bounds right on it, and then you're okay.
How about you, Phil? What's your thought?
Well, you know, I think that if I'm going to stick with the driver, that I want to try to be very free and trusting and let my rhythm control my swing and let my arms and club react. I get in trouble when I try to position the golf club, and we talk a lot today in instruction in the game about positions. And the golf swing is a sequence of motion, not a sequence of positions. And I get in trouble. I've been way too analytical throughout my career and tried to put the club and the club face and my body in all these different places. That's when I get in trouble. If I think more about footwork, balance, rhythm, let it react, I do a whole lot better, Damon.